Item number 48, Melissa Schuby.
Come on up, have a seat.
Yep. You're taking over the doghouse, huh?
I am.
And you're keeping the name.
Keeping the name, otherwise we'll just be the old dog house. Doesn't sound as attractive.
Have you done this before?
No.
Starting a new adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Notice your hours, 20, you're gonna be open
20.
hours a day?
Yeah. 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. I have adult children and many other people to recruit.
Okay.
Are you looking at to me to give a speech?
Well, no, not the speech. I look at you because you usually have the questions.
So I see you're going to buy it eventually, or I
Yeah.
mean, you're buying it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I am always in favor, but I guess so. You're going to hire a manager.
No.
Okay, you're familiar with the laws. You know
we're-
you can't go to Picket Save to buy liquor. Licensed bartenders
Yes.
only. Well, or somebody working under their direct supervision. And you know the hours of operation. You know, and I guess I'm glad you're saying you think you might be open at 6 a.m. But we're not going to make you open at 6 a.m. if it turns out that it's, you know, because sometimes people in their application put 10 and then they want to open early someday and that could be a problem. So
Okay.
you're looking at the maximum hours. What we ask of our bar operators, and I own a bar and restaurant, is that you be an ally with the community. And if there's a problem, we want to send this message to your employees too, that if there's a problem there, that when the police are called, and I tell my staff, if you think you should call 911, you should be on the phone calling 911. You know, that's what we have trained professionals to deal with those kinds of problems. But when they show up, when the police arrive, you should be an ally. You and your staff should be able to say, yes, this is what happened. This is what I know about the individual. This is where they went. They left in the car with this as the license plate, or you know, this I don't know anything. Thing doesn't fly with this committee. You know, it's a small little bar. I would expect that your bartenders would see essentially everything that happens in there all the time, except for in the bathrooms, obviously. You know, so I guess I'm looking at your past. I see you have one OWI in the past.
2006.
Yeah, and the thing there with those is that you showed, at least on that one occasion, you made a bad choice for yourself, and we're expecting you and your staff to make that choice for your customers. You know, and it's, you know, there's a time you have to tell somebody you can't have another drink. That will happen. So we want you to be able to make that tough call. So, and also there will be an occasion perhaps when the police would send somebody in that maybe a 20-year-old with no ID, with the idea that they're doing a compliance check, and oftentimes I can't tell you how to run your business. You know, make some suggestions. Oftentimes, the offending clerk or bartender would get a suspension or even be relieved. You know, fired. You know, if they get caught serving a minor. It's not an uncommon practice in the business. Understand if you're gonna have family or whatever, well, you can't fire your son. I know how that goes.
I can.
Good to know.
That's what makes me the boss.
But just the regular kind of corner bar is what you're gonna keep there and all that?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's,
Wish you luck. You
Well,
know,
thank
it's a
you.
tough business. It's not what it used to be
yeah.
in our community. But if I could have one word of advice, and this is something at 38 years in the business, I would change the name. That would, and I'm not telling
I
you
thought
need to.
about it.
I'm not telling you need to, but that's just a word of advice. And if you want to speak later, I can give you some other stuff too. But because there will people that won't go there because it's still the old name.
We're working on
Yeah,
that
but
because of that. We've
yeah.
been working with.
Not that the doghouse is a bad name necessarily.
I know,
I'm getting
I know
too
what
far
you're
afield
saying.
here.
No, I know
Yeah.
what you mean, and we've been working.
Yeah.
We've been working to kind of mend those relationships as well.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Okay, do I have a motion here?
Move approval.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Item number 49, Mohammed. Good evening. Okay. This is a new application for bartender's license. Do you have a place where you're gonna be working yet, or no?
Yeah, I work at the West Dallas Target on 108th Street. And so it was a different process for me because I worked in Waukesha previously, and we don't sell liquor in Waukesha. So I wasn't informed until recently when we had to get our license is updated that I needed to go through the process. So it's a new process for me, but I've been working for Target for 3.5 years.
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel?
are you in management there or the?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So the idea is that you'd be overseeing the cashiers and all that.
Yeah, so I oversee logistics for Target, but when you're a leader on duty and then closing shifts at night, I'm the only one there, so I would need it at that point. But right now, working usually during the day, there's other managers that have their license already, so I don't need to be the one. But there is times when I'm the only one.
Mr. Chair, if I could continue.
Go ahead.
So the problem is you have 3 OWIs.
Right.
And this license that we would give you would essentially let you bartend anywhere in the city of West Allis. And I understand that overseeing the liquor department or logistics at a Target is not the same as pouring alcohol by the glass to, patrons. That
Sure.
it's essentially the same license. And I'm looking at it was 2011, 2013, 2016. That's a pattern, and it includes what I call a recent conviction.
Right.
And to me, that shows that I don't think I'd want you pouring alcohol. Again, your particular instances, you'd be working at a Target.
Sure.
But you could take this BART license and go bartend anywhere in the city of West Allis. So I'm going to move for denial based on the record.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sorry.
Just for clarification, that was based on its relationship to the licensed activity, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Now, is there anything further that I can do going forward? Because this would be my job. I'm salary with Target, and I'm pretty sure I can't work there if I don't have it. So,
We haven't okayed, I don't think we've ever okayed anybody with 3 OWIs. It's just like a policy. I realize it's different, but
right.
once you have the license, you can go a number of places.
Mr. Chair, if I
Alderman
could,
Weigel.
I mean, we're reviewing there's a discussion about reviewing some of our licensing. And I guess I'm glad the city clerk is here, that do some communities or are we required by state law to have the same clerk license as a bartender license? Or could we have a separate license for licensure in a liquor store?
No, Nick can attest to this. There's one state operator's
The
license.
state says no.
Well, one operator's license
License.
by the municipality, but it's
It's the same license.
correct.
Okay.
That being said, with the additions, I am working on standardizations for these kinds of rules too. So I got some from New Berlin, so would help with determining if 3 OWIs is a standard that you want to follow, basically. It's really up to you. The law says you can deny based on that. You don't have to. And also, he could literally turn around tomorrow and reapply again continuously. I just had that discussion with the state agents last week.
Yeah, he could, but he'd have to pay the new application fee, and the application doesn't grant him the license. He can't
Right.
get a temporary.
But that was his question of
Oh.
what's his options.
Oh,
Continuously apply and come to you and ask you again and again. That's for any operator, not
yeah,
just.
yeah. But it's $70 every time.
Yeah.
Alderman Rowe.
If I can ask Rebecca Grill something, what did we do with the woman at Capri? Remember that about 2 years ago, and
she became the agent for the business.
Oh.
So then she could only work at that business.
is that
So
some-
I don't know who is the
Agent for Target.
agent for Target at that location.
How badly does Target want to keep you?
Pretty bad. So I guess my
Then it would just be limited.
so
to
he could
that
just
front.
only stay there, not
Yeah,
go
yes, he couldn't.
We shouldn't be giving much legal advice.
No.
okay.
Good idea.
But just to be clear, I can, as long as I'm not the only manager in the building, I can still.
The other manager would have to be a licensed bartender.
Right.
You're just
right.
like every other employee.
Yep.
You don't have a
So
license.
technically, if it's okay, I just can't close by myself anymore,
Well,
which
it's
is
up- yeah.
okay.
It's gonna be
Okay.
up, it's gonna be up to Target, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's their
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you.
Sorry.
I think, do we have a vote on that? Or did we?
Yeah, we all in favor, yeah, we
Yes.
voted on it already. Okay. 50. It's identical.
Kimberly Pabst.
No, 50's identical. It's the same thing.
Mohammed.
It's
Mohammed.
Oh, he's got this misjacketed.
Kimberly Post.
Kimberly Pabst.
Yeah.
Oh, appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah, not
Put the
Probst.
wrong jacket on
And Kimberly Miller.
it? Okay.
Actually, I
Go
work
ahead.
with Jody Miller, which is funny.
Yeah, maybe it's just on here. Okay. Okay, this is another new license
Yes.
for Happy Tab.
Yes.
And you just heard us with this gentleman who was
Yes.
here. And you have 3 OWIs also.
Yes.
And how did you get here tonight?
I drove. Why?
We're showing revoked license.
No, I have my license. You want to see it?
But you having it on your person doesn't necessarily mean
Oh.
that it's not revoked.
Well, I just went to court today to fight a ticket for getting pulled over. I do have my license.
Okay, do I have a motion?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I move for denial based on the record and how it pertains to working as a bartender.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Sorry.
It's all right. I already have mine in Milwaukee. I don't really care. Thanks.
Okay, then we have number 35, St. Augustine. We'll go through this.
And Mr.
a
Chair, I
motion?
move that we waive whatever they're asking us to. I don't have that in front of me.
You
Waive the
approve-
surety
You
bond.
approved the request.
I move to approve the request. Thank you, sir.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
If I may,
Aye.
Any opposed?
No, we haven't discussed.
just, I know this had come up in the past. I wasn't here at that council meeting.
Right.
This came to my attention because some of these were going through, and it requires me to check a box that says they have the surety bond. I can't do that if they haven't had one. The ordinance says they shall have a surety bond, and it says we can waive that if, or the common council can waive that if it determines. So the default is have to have one. Active action on the common council's part or license and health part is to waive that. I've been asked what other options there are, or why do we even have something like this? Historically, it seems like it's been in there for quite some time, just to protect whether there's damage to private property and bins, or somebody has to go in there and make sure or try to force compliance or something along those lines. If the common council wants me to, I can work on, or the license health wants me to, I can work on a ordinance that would change this to a may. So the default would be they don't have to have a surety bond unless the activity requested kind of red flags us enough that we would request that they get one. Doesn't matter to me which way you want to go. It's just
Yeah.
currently this is the process as I see it.
That's what we, only me.
Yeah, at our last meeting, Cheryl was here, and we explained to her, there was discussion, should we just get rid of it? And we said, well, we want to figure out what that's for first. And I think it was, the committee agreed that for now, have them come before us and we'll waive them, but we want to see what was the purpose, what was it used for, and then we're going to make a determination from there whether it's going to be completely eliminate,
Mhm.
start enforcing and require it, or maybe this may option
Mhm.
will go in there too. So that's where it ended last time, if recollection serves. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. We already voted on it. Okay, then we have items 36, 37, 38. These are all from the Cordiva Wine Company.
Move approval,
Excuse me.
subject to necessary requirements.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Then we have number 39. This is for dart tournament at Buzzard's Nest, 16th and Mitchell.
Cricket Fest? We're serving crickets?
Cricket's a type of dart game.
I know. You really, you don't think I know.
I know.
You don't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Do I have a motion on this?
Move approval.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We oppose. Then we have, let's see, for Mamma Mia's, number 40.
Move approval.
Second.
Is there any further discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Then we have 41, 41A, 41 and 41A.
Move approval.
Second.
Is that made subject to all the necessary requirements?
Yes.
I think
These are
all
the-
the time it should be, right? I
Yeah.
I would agree.
We should
No.
never approve without, yeah.
Yeah.
So yes.
With this many, I just wanted to make sure that that was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I was just thinking about that before this issue came up. We shouldn't say with necessary. It's always subject to necessary.
Every
fine.
approval should.
Yeah.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, then we have 42, 43, 44, 45, and 46 and 7.
Move to place on file.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
One opposed? That's all we have. Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then our adjourned.
Michael Weigel.
Even though me is the only one
Okay. All right, the Administration and Finance Committee will come to order. All 5 members are present, and we'll start with item 12, which is a resolution authorizing the Director of Public Works to amend the existing contract with Baxter and Woodman, Inc. for engineering and consulting services related to creation of a hydraulic model of the water distribution system.
Move approval.
We have a motion from Alderman May and a second from Alderman Weigel. Can someone tell us what this is, please?
Yeah, because I clicked on the link, I
So-
couldn't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
You
I
want
know,
to
the
you know what
engineer,
you
yes,
know what a
please.
hydraulic model is? Is that what you want to know?
Picture that.
Hydraulic model just shows where the pressure's coming in from the city and how the water's flowing through all the different pipes, and if there's a closure at one link, how does the water pressure distribute around it? That's pretty much what the study is.
And we're gonna spend $40,000 for
Is that
that?
because we're thinking about bailing on our contract with Milwaukee and buying from Oak Creek?
Now you're starting the rumors.
It's a
I don't think so.
negotiation tactic.
I don't think so.
It's a negotiation tactic, isn't it?
All right. So we had some discussion. Yeah, I think we have the answer then. Thank you, Alderman May. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right. And then item 13 is a communication from the Director of Development regarding the reorganization of the Department of Development. Patrick, you want to tell us about it since you're the guy here? Thank you, sir.
Essentially what we're doing is we have a housing program coordinator position right now. We'd like to make that what was the community development supervisor, which was Christy Johnson's position prior, but without the development side of things. So this would it's Luke Radomski's current position. He would be taking on the CDBG, Beloit Road, and other federal grant programs, which is very similar to the housing programs that we currently have in that department. And then we would eliminate the housing program coordinator position. So we're elevating Luke. The second step would be filling Christie's position, which was in the development department, to do more development activities along with me, helping with economic development, neighborhood associations, and working on our large development projects along with TIF districts. So that would be community and community economic and housing coordinator. So we're modifying that just to spread workload. We have efficiency in housing to be able to absorb the CDBG. So.
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel.
have you priced out the different job descriptions? And
Yes, we have the city consultant review the job descriptions, and they came back with a range that I think will be acceptable to get a good qualified candidate.
Okay. I mean, is this gonna be, what's the net impact gonna be? We're
Well-
gonna have the same number of employees,
Correct.
and are they gonna, so one's gonna be getting paid more, one's gonna be getting paid less, this new person helping you guys?
Whoever Luke
Luke
would
gets
be
a bump.
promoted,
Yeah, Luke gets a
right?
bump.
And that would be supported through our federal grants and the programs that he would be overseeing. The community development position would require city financing, because it's not supported by any federal grants. So, but some of the activities might be charged to a TIF, like we currently
Yeah.
do for administrative or fire, things like that. So,
what's the net delta gonna be, do you know?
well, that particular position, I didn't necessarily look at the delta. I had it outlined in here.
It looked to me like it was like $5,000 a year on the
Yeah.
Christie position.
I mean,
That
Christie was
it would
paid
be
at
a higher
77.
range.
Okay.
Was around 77, and this is just a little short of that pay scale.
Okay, so that's the net to West
Correct.
Dallas taxpayers.
Correct.
Because Luke's position is funded through
For
federal.
federal.
Mr. Chair.
Alderman Rowe.
And so he'll be kind of looking over Bullitt Road Housing.
Correct.
So, but then why do we have a manager at Bullitt Road Housing? I don't get
Oh,
that.
that's different.
That's day-to-day activities there with the tenants. That's
Fixing
more of
toilets and
making sure that we're in compliance with the Section 42 requirements. Then there's the physical upkeep and physical. Public Works does that, but if they need something done, they send the request to us, and we have to do the processing. We also have different requirements for the tax credit requirements, and we handle that through our housing department. It's actually a small percentage, but we still have to follow it up, because in 15 years we get the property back. So
Less than that, no?
less than that now,
Yeah.
it's probably 10.
Can I have a motion?
move to approve.
A motion from Alderman May,
Second.
second from Alderman Weigel. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. And item 14, an ordinance to amend the City of West Dallas salary schedule, creating a community and economic development, living and housing coordinator position. I think that goes
part
with
of this.
That's what. Yeah.
Move approval.
I think a
Second.
chairman who would have read ahead could have put them together. That being me. Let's do it again. Yeah. All right. Thank you. And item 15.
Vote on that last one.
Yeah, thanks. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you again. And item 15, ordinance to amend the salary ordinance establishing certain miscellaneous employees of the City of West Dallas. Rebecca, can you tell us about this, please?
Rebecca Grill, City Administrator. This is adjusting a few of the salaries that are listed on there, namely the library pages. Those haven't been adjusted for several years. There are certain employees who hold the position for multiple years, and when there's only one pay range, they've been at that for 17 years or something like that. So this gives flexibility to give those people that are performing well a little increase. I believe the other one is the cleaner. There's some challenge with hiring and keeping qualified cleaners. I believe the police department has tried to hire 5 or something, and none of them have passed the background. So there's perhaps so we're gonna try a tactic where maybe increasing the pay, as well as in the library there's been some challenges with that too. So
Move approval.
All right. And is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 16, resolution authorizing $25,000 from the Community and Economic Development Investment Fund for enhancing the neonatal intensive care unit, family-centered room environment at the Aurora West Dallas Health Center.
Move for approval.
West Dallas
Second.
Medical Center. Thank you. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I'd just like to point out, because usually we don't do these kinds of things except for at the Aurora West Dallas Medical Center. The city of West Dallas still owns that building, so we have a vested interest in this, so, thanks.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And item 17, resolution approving the 2018 to 2020 State Fair Park Crowd and Traffic Control Services Agreement. Alderman,
This is just a big money loser for us, isn't it? Don't we always have like $100,000 into this?
Yes.
And-
So this year we were able to negotiate a 5-year or 5% increase for each of the years. So it's better than,
Less of a money loser.
yes. However, not anywhere close because our calculations is well north of $100,000.
Yeah, this is like a third.
And we only receive a third of the municipal services payments for having that facility in our municipality. So typically we should be receiving over 600,000. We get about 200,000 from the state because the legislators do not fully fund that.
So who's negotiating this for us? Who's
Me and a few other people.
Really?
Yes.
Well, we don't have any, Mr. Chair.
Yep.
We don't have any leverage in this.
There's really
We'll just not show up for a
What
couple
do you
of
not,
nights and
not
they'll
send the
be,
fire
begging
department, not
for
have the
us.
police department show up at Wisconsin State Fair when there's an issue? Yeah, it's ludicrous. Yeah, they should pay us what it costs us.
In my notes here, even prior to even you speaking at Alderman's comment, I wrote, now we got this drag racing coming up too, and that's gonna drain. I know it has nothing to do with the fair, but it's over at the fair.
Yeah,
Alderman May.
hypothetically, we decided not to provide the crowd and traffic control. Who would do it? State police? Capitol Police?
I think by default we might end up doing it. I don't know.
I think the problem becomes, State Patrol probably would not come in, even though Greenfield Avenue is a state highway. They just don't have the.
So is 76 up to
Right,
Greenfield?
right. So they don't have the resources, and they really don't do a whole lot in Milwaukee County. The Fair Park Police they do have jurisdiction to come out of the park. They're a part-time police department. Even if they could do that, they probably wouldn't do it as well as we do. And then realistically, from a law enforcement point of view, if something goes wrong, we're the ones gonna be left holding the bag and kind of being behind the curve trying to fix the problem if something goes wrong outside of the park. We've obviously made huge changes in how we police around the fair, since we had the incident back in 2011. And while it's a huge increase in cost for us, it has completely eliminated almost any problems in the city. That's probably one of the safest places to be in the city, not only for violent crime, but even property crime. We used to have lots of property crime around there, and we just don't have that anymore during those time periods. And I think it changed to how we do that. We would be kind of really left with egg on our face if something bad went sideways.
It's just a frustrating thing every year, and then, you know, another slap in the face, we gotta pay to go watch fireworks there, you know.
Oh, the residents
Yeah.
have to pay.
I mean, it's
They actually allow us to have. We don't have to pay the fee as a city,
Right,
but the
it
yes.
seems like a bad deal.
Parking.
It's not the best deal. It's better than the one we had previously, which I think we only had a 1% increase. And so we're trying to work collaboratively with the board. The mayor is on the board, so there's making a little headway, but not what we need to. I understand.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman May.
Yeah, summarizing what you're saying, I think it's 37 cents on the dollar that they actually pay us for our municipal services. Is that right? 37 or 38 cents? Hey, I got it. And we have sent we have passed resolutions and sent them on to our state legislators, asking them to up these amounts back to where they should be. The state law says they're supposed to fund it to us as long as they have the money for it. So they just keep allocating less. Therefore, we're stuck getting less. So, yeah, I think I'd rather have our police doing it. I would. Like you say, the crime is a little bit lower in the area because of it. But I do think it's something that absolutely must be corrected, and I think we need to, again, remind our legislators why they need to start funding this for us, because our taxpayers are subsidizing support for the state fair. And as much as people say that brings money into our city, people come to state fair and they leave. They don't go out to eat after state fair or before. They go straight to state fair and they leave. So
People parking cars.
yeah, people parking cars maybe. But so I just wanted to summarize all that. We are trying to get more out of this. But as always, the city's the low man on the totem pole and get the shaft.
And with that, Alderman Chabluski.
Move for approval.
Thank you, Alderman Chabluski.
Second.
So motion and a second. Any further
Grudgingly.
discussion?
Put a G next to it.
Put an angry X. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
We gotta go to Madison and go get more of those pens.
That's right.
Item 18, communication from city administrator submitting the 2019 capital.
Move approval.
Thing. Well, we need to approve
Move and no,
or
well, it's a
just place on
communication.
file.
Place on file.
Yeah.
Adopt.
We're
place
gonna
on file.
we're gonna yes.
Adopt the calendar.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, please.
There is a slight adjustment. I believe the capital improvement committee is listed on the 23rd and 24th in July. It should be the 30th and 31st. So I just wanted to.
I don't think we need to make a formal amendment as long as we all understand that.
Okay.
It's good to know.
Okay, so we have a motion from Alderman Weigel, and I forgot if we have a second. Well, thank you. Can someone second that?
Second.
Second from Alderman Root. And any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, and item 19, communication from the
Move for
city
approval.
administrator. Thank
Second.
you. And any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 20, communication from city administrator requesting approval to fill a vacant position of assistant pumping station operator.
Move for approval.
So, motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. 21, communication from the health commissioner to an interagency agreement with Greenfield.
Mr. Chair.
Alderman May.
Question for Sally Nusslock. our
Sally, come
City
on up,
Health
please.
Commissioner.
Commissioner Nusslock.
Commissioner Nusslock, that's right. Do we have the staffing available to take this on?
Yes.
Okay. That was my only question. Thanks for coming all the way up here.
Get my 10,000 steps in.
Yeah. So, can I have a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 22, report from the finance director
Move
comptroller.
to place on file.
Thank you.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And item 23,
Mr. Chair,
yes.
I would recommend approval of the city attorney's claim report as recommended.
Thank you. We have a motion from Alderman May. Is there a second?
Second.
A second from Alderman Rote. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And then we have it's an additional agenda in our recess. We have an additional agenda item of our recess meeting, I mean to say. And that is progress and recommendations regarding total benefit package from Employee Benefit Committee. Is there any discussion on that, Rebecca?
This was just placed on here as a follow-up to the last Monday's meetings in case there were any questions or anything you wanted to discuss this evening or further clarification at this point. So,
Not tonight.
Nope.
Okay.
Not tonight.
And then we have one hopefully quick closed session item. So I'll read us into closed session. Please take notice that the Administration and Finance Committee of the City of West Allis will meet at approximately 7 p.m. at City Hall today in West Allis to convene in closed session at the said time and place to discuss a workers' compensation case, to discuss Hopkins mechanical claim settlement proposal, and to take such further action as may be necessary and appropriate in respect to these matters. A closed session for the above purposes is authorized pursuant to the provisions of Wisconsin Statute Section 19.85 1FG.
Can move to go into closed session.
We have a motion from Alderman
Second.
Weigel, second from Alderman Chaplesky, and Alderman Rote. Aye. Alderman May.
I
Chaplesky.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Okay.
Who are you looking for?
Could you close the door? I was just gonna ask if